People thought the Erika Kirk story was finished. They thought the rumors, the whispers, the strange behavior, the backstage tension, everything would eventually fade like every other political controversy. But tonight, something happened that nobody saw coming. Joe Rogan and Candace Owens, two of the most influential voices in the country, have teamed up. Yes, teamed up to expose a set of shocking claims about Erika Kirk that just blew a crater straight through her public image. This wasn't casual commentary. This wasn't speculation. And it definitely wasn't some light podcast banter. This was a full-on takedown. According to sources who watched the unedited segment *** before it aired, Joe didn't hold back. Candace didn't blink. And the receipts they brought, messages, clips, voice notes, old footage, internal contradictions, were the kind of evidence that makes the entire internet stop mid-scroll. Both hinted that they've been sitting on information * for months, waiting, watching, collecting proof of what they now call Erika's most undeniable lies. When Joe finally said, "People need to know what she really did," everything shifted. The tension snapped. The internet started shaking. Even Erika's strongest defenders suddenly went quiet. Because this time, the accusations aren't coming from anonymous accounts. They're coming from two massive platforms, two people known for exposing hypocrisy, and then came the line from Candace, the one that instantly went viral, the one that left Erika completely silent online. Long before Joe Rogan and Candace Owens went public, something was already brewing behind the scenes. Something dark. Something calculated. Something people inside TPUSA now admit was hiding in plain sight for more than a year. Erika Kirk didn't stumble into controversy. She walked into it with intention. She crafted a polished persona, soft-spoken and harmless, surrounded by loyal supporters who believed she was incapable of deception. But those who worked close enough to her, close enough to see the cracks, knew there was more to her story than she wanted the public to see. It began at a leadership retreat. The very retreat insiders now believe was the start of Erika's unraveling. Witnesses say she arrived different. Her tone was sharper, her confidence inflated, her attitude toward colleagues, especially the women, noticeably changed. She wasn't offering opinions anymore. She was issuing instructions. Even the chief of staff, someone known for his independence, was suddenly taking cues from her. But the bigger red flags came when Erika started inserting herself into strategic decisions she had no authority over. Insiders recall moments when she would look top-level members straight in the eye and say things like, "And why was the chief of staff so quick to align himself with her?" At the time, staffers brushed it off. Maybe she was overwhelmed. Maybe she was trying to prove herself. Maybe the pressure of being connected to a major political organization was getting to her. But then the whispers grew louder. People noticed documents being altered, emails mysteriously forwarded, messages quietly deleted, meetings held behind closed doors with no record of what was discussed. But the moment that truly made insiders suspicious came from one staffer who witnessed Erika in a hallway, whispering frantically into her phone, panic in her voice. The staffer didn't know who she was at the time, but many now believe Erika was referring to Candace Owens. Because around that exact period, Candace had started noticing things. Shifts in messaging, contradictions in statements, unexplained changes to event lineups, and signs that someone inside TPUSA was pulling strings they had no business touching. Candace Owens is known for many things: her bluntness, her confidence, her fearlessness, but above all, she's known for her precision. She doesn't accuse without evidence. She doesn't hint without receipts. And she never digs into a story unless she senses something rotten beneath the surface. Joe Rogan, meanwhile, had been watching from a distance. At first, his concerns were small. Offhand comments from guests, anonymous messages that didn't line up, inconsistencies in Erika's public explanations. But as time passed, a pattern started to emerge. Every time Erika was questioned, something changed. Her story shifted. Her tone softened or hardened. Her memory conveniently blurred. And the lies, they never fit together. Everything escalated when an internal TPUSA memo surfaced, one that directly contradicted a public statement Erika posted just weeks earlier. When Candace's team dug deeper, the red flags multiplied. Mismatched timelines, conflicting emails, and a list of key organizational decisions that appeared to have Erika's fingerprints all over them. All while she publicly claimed she wasn't involved. A former TPUSA coordinator stepped forward with a folder of screenshots. These messages, rumored to be verified by Candace herself, allegedly showed Erika issuing direct instructions to staff, reshaping narratives, pushing false information, and coordinating with someone outside the organization. Someone unexpected. Someone Erika was never supposed to be communicating with. During a private conversation between Joe and Candace, one insider say lasted nearly 3 hours, the two compared notes. What they uncovered wasn't a misunderstanding. It wasn't confusion. It wasn't exaggeration. Joe allegedly obtained an unedited audio recording, a clip that staffers had been too afraid to release. In it, Erika can reportedly be heard contradicting her own public statements, admitting things she publicly denied, and referencing someone she described as her backup. People close to Erika noticed her sudden silence. No texts, no replies, no social media activity. The chief of staff attempted to shield her, but staffers said he looked terrified, like he knew something massive was about to erupt. The final turning point came when Joe Rogan and Candace Owens agreed to go public together. They did it because the evidence was overwhelming, and the lies were far worse than anyone imagined. Because there is still one major connection, one critical detail, that neither Joe nor Candace has disclosed. When Joe and Candace went public, everything that had been simmering quietly inside TPUSA detonated like a bomb. Erika Kirk didn't just become the center of controversy. She became the core of a wildfire spreading faster than anyone could control. They were hearing evidence-backed accusations from two of the nation's most influential commentators. Inside TPUSA, staff had sensed something was off long before this went public. They never admitted it publicly, but internally, the unease was impossible to ignore. One insider said, "It was like she always knew things she shouldn't know. Like she was in rooms we never saw her in." The breaking point came the night Candace's team uncovered a thread that didn't match anything Erika had claimed. Not a text, not a voice memo, not a screenshot. A single scheduled call with someone Erika swore she had never contacted. But the timestamp lined up perfectly with a major internal shift inside TPUSA. A shift Erika had publicly denied having any part in. When Candace saw it, her reaction was immediate. She froze, stared at the screen, and whispered. According to a producer who overheard part of the call, Joe didn't even let Candace finish before saying. Joe stared at the calendar entry and everything clicked. Weeks earlier, someone on his show mentioned a name that seemed irrelevant at the time. But now, seeing it attached to Erika, that name hit like a shockwave. Candace. She wasn't supposed to know this person. She wasn't supposed to have access to this person. She wasn't supposed to be coordinating with anyone outside her role. Yet the evidence was right there. A documented call she pretended never happened. And that call matched perfectly with a sudden internal shift inside the organization. But that wasn't even the real twist. That was just the spark. When Joe's team dug deeper, they found another call. Same name. 2 weeks earlier. Then a third 2 weeks later. Candace's team lined those timestamps up with internal decisions made at TPUSA. And the alignment was disturbing. Every time Erika spoke to this mystery person, her influence spiked. Her behavior changed. Her confidence surged. Staff began noticing she would enter rooms she wasn't invited to, interrupt conversations, override decisions, and speak on behalf of people who outranked her. When questioned, she kept insisting she had clearance. But clearance from who? No one knew. At least, not until the leaks began. The first leaked message wasn't from Erika. It came from the chief of staff, already under scrutiny. In the message he wrote, "Let her handle it. She already spoke to him." Under pressure, the chief of staff denied everything at first. But insiders say he eventually cracked. He allegedly admitted Erika wasn't supposed to be in contact with the man, but he wanted updates from her directly. And that's when the truth snapped into focus. She was relaying information to an outside figure, someone powerful enough to bypass TPUSA leadership altogether. Someone who wanted updates without anyone knowing. He was secretly communicating with the organization. Joe and Candace confronted the clip live on air without naming him. Joe said, "When someone outside the organization gives directives, that's not influence, that's control." Candace added, "She wasn't just lying. She was following instructions." That sentence detonated the internet. If Erika was taking orders from a hidden power figure, and if the chief of staff knew, then this wasn't just Erika's scandal. It wasn't just TPUSA's scandal. This is an operation, a calculated infiltration of internal decision-making by someone in the shadows. Joe and Candace hinted that the man wasn't random at all. He was high-ranking, influential, and powerful enough that exposing him would change everything. Erika wasn't the mastermind. She was the messenger, the bridge, the one funneling information on his behalf. The reason she lied about timelines, involvement, decisions, and influence? She was protecting the one person she feared more than the backlash. Erika wasn't covering for herself. She was covering for him. And when you learn who he is, you'll understand why. While social media exploded with theories, leaked screenshots, ADHD-level timelines, and frantic reaction videos, something deeper was unfolding behind closed doors. Something Joe, Candace, and the audience didn't know. Joe received a message from a former TPUSA consultant, one who had quietly stepped away months earlier. The message was chilling. Up until then, everyone assumed Erika initiated the contact, that she chased influence, inserted herself, or tried to be part of something bigger. But that wasn't true. According to the consultant, the man behind all the directives, the same mysterious he from the voice notes and calendar entries, reached out to her first. Long before the retreats. Long before the messaging changes. Long before anyone suspected a thing. She wasn't selected because she was powerful. She was selected because she was useful, available, unnoticed, disposable, and invisible enough to move quietly while still visible enough to make instructions stick. Joe read the insider's message twice. Candace read it 5 times. Because the consultant wasn't describing manipulation. He was describing recruitment. In that moment, the entire scandal changed shape. This wasn't a case of unethical coordination, or even internal corruption. This was external infiltration, orchestrated by an outside figure, facilitated by Erika, and quietly supported by a chief of staff who had become her reluctant partner. The pressure only escalated when a second insider surfaced, someone from donor relations. They claimed the outside figure had been influencing TPUSA's messaging long before any leaks. According to them, he used Erika to feed information back to him. She thought it was mentorship. It wasn't mentorship. That word mentorship hit hard. Because people around Erika during those months remembered how she constantly talked about receiving guidance, direction, and support from someone who believed in her ideas. But now the truth was undeniable. She wasn't being mentored. She was being handled. Joe's team unearthed something even darker. A pattern of late-night calls between Erika and the outside figure, each one logged minutes before major organizational changes. When Candace cross-referenced the timestamps, the alignment was so exact, so eerie, that she reportedly stared at the page and whispered, "This wasn't an accident." The scandal exploded further when a member of TPUSA's media team leaked an audio file, not a short snippet, but a 49-second recording never meant to leave the building. In it, Erika wasn't arguing with leadership, a colleague, or even the chief of staff. Her tone wasn't defensive or confused. It was obedient. The public still hasn't heard the audio, but Joe and Candace confirmed it, because they recognized the voice she was speaking to. It was the same man from the earlier leak. The same strategist. The same architect pulling the strings. And now something was obvious. Erika wasn't lying to manipulate TPUSA. She was lying to. But the real shock came when Candace's team dug into an old shared drive and found a document created months before the drama. A file titled, those exact same words had appeared in the leaked directives days earlier. And at the bottom of the document, faint and nearly erased, sat a line. The redaction wasn't automatic. Someone manually removed the name. Someone who knew it couldn't be allowed to surface. But Candace recognized the formatting. Joe recognized the phrasing. And insiders recognized the initials barely visible beneath the erased layer. The outside figure had been involved from the beginning. He wasn't a rumor. He wasn't a theory. He wasn't a phantom. He was real, connected, and dangerous enough that exposing him could shatter alliances,